Hope you're having a good weekend, Steelers fans. This is Steelers Talk. On today's show, we are going to be talking about some projections that some of the NFL draft media are making in their way too early 2024 mock draft. So it's way too early here. I understand that, but it's Sunday. We're going to have some fun here. We're going to be breaking down some 2024 NFL draft prospects for your Pittsburgh Steelers today. But first, make sure that you subscribe to the channel here. Our videos are 100% free. We have them every day, and we try to give you guys the most premium content possible here on YouTube. We give you a bunch of content from like ESPN Plus that you usually have to pay for. We try to give you guys as much value as possible. And of course, we are the most interactive Steelers community on YouTube. So if you want to join our family today, go ahead, click that subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you never miss any of our free videos. All right, so let's start with the Steelers Super Bowl odds. And they're not great right now. Right now, they're the 10th lowest in the National Football League at plus 6,000. And these guys that are going to be basing their projections of where the Steelers are drafting, essentially they're going to be having the Steelers pick 10th in the 2024 NFL draft. So a top 10 pick. Some of these guys are going to be pretty juicy here. So without further ado, let's just get right into the names here. We're going to start with ESPN's Todd McShay's way too early 2024 projection for the Steelers. Braylon Trice, edge rusher out of the University of Washington. Double-digit sacks last year, 6'4", 256 pounds. Very, very productive player with the Huskies. And, I think he's a pretty darn good prospect. I obviously haven't watched too much film on him. Like, I just got done watching the guys in 2023. But he's a very productive guy at a good school that's known for their defensive players. This is what Todd McShay had to say about this selection. Trice had an NFL frame at 6'4" and 256 pounds, and he can get to the quarterback. Trice piled up 48 pressures, 6th in the nation, and 9 sacks last season, plus 13 tackles for loss. Alex Highsmith is a free agent after 2023, and Trice could slot in as a potential replacement opposite T.J. Watt. Now, the big question that surrounds this particular pick is, will edge be a huge need for the Steelers? Because will Alex Highsmith be back? Like, that is a big, big question surrounding the Steelers right now, because it's like, are you going to give him that extension? Are you going to let him walk and keep that cap space? I really don't know the answer to this question. I think the Steelers want to bring him back, but I also think Alex wants to get paid like a true number one edge rusher. I don't necessarily blame him for that. Get your money, man, but I really do think that he's not a true number one guy. I think the combination of him and T.J. Watt is electric. I think when T.J. Watt is on the field, Highsmith is at his best, and I think that really, if he took a $23 million per year contract over the next 3 to 4 years, I think that'd be a fantastic deal for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I really think that Highsmith is looking more in the $25 to $26 million range, which I think he'll have to come down if he wants to get that extension done this offseason. So predict for me in the comments section here, will the Steelers let Alex Highsmith walk in free agency next year? Type Y if you think yes, or type N if you think no. This is going to be the pinned comment on today's show, which is that first comment there right up at the top of the comment section. Go ahead, when you get an ad break, go there and answer today's question. Then Pro Football Focus came out with their way too early mock draft and had the Steelers taking Jeremiah Trotter Jr., inside linebacker, in the top 10 here, which is very interesting, but I do think Trotter is a very good fit for what the Steelers need. The Steelers need a coverage linebacker, and Trotter Jr. is one of the best coverage guys in college football right now. 89 tackles last year, 6.5 sacks as a linebacker, so he's a good blitzer as well, and then he forced 1 fumble. This is what Max Chadwick from Pro Football Focus had to say about this projection. The son of former All-Pro linebacker Jeremy Trotter Sr., the sophomore linebacker has lived up to his father's name and then some. The younger Trotter excels on passing plays, as he was the only Power 5 linebacker with 80-plus grades as a pass rusher and in coverage. And right now, I do believe that the inside linebacker room is the weakest part of the Steelers' defensive roster right now. I think the cornerback situation has been fixed. I think the defensive line is obviously fantastic. Minkah Fitzpatrick's there at safety. So, right in the middle, if you want a weakness on your defense, it's definitely at linebacker, in my opinion. But the thing is, Bill Walsh, legendary coach for the 49ers, once said, if you have a hole on defense, like, you just can't hide it. So you really do need to have a complete defense. I think Cole Holcomb, Andy Landon Roberts are pretty good, but I really think that the Steelers' plan for at least a future inside linebacker is Nick Herbig. He's going to be playing an outside role this year, playing on the edge in kind of those obvious passing situations, third downs, nickel sets, that sort of stuff. So he'll be a rotational pass rusher, but he's got the body type and the athleticism and the coverage ability to one day be a really good inside linebacker. I think they're going to try to make that transition for him in the future so they don't have to spend a top 10 pick on an inside linebacker. And then you got CBS Sports here, who has the Steelers taking a wide receiver here, Emeka Egbuka, out of Ohio State. And, he's one of the most productive wide receivers in college football. Very, very talented guy. And I have no problem with the talent fit here. I think he's going to be a fantastic receiver in the National Football League. 6'1", 205 pounds, over 1,000 yards receiving last year, double-digit touchdowns. This guy is going to be a fantastic player in the National Football League. But here's the thing. Diontae Johnson and George Pickens are both under contract for the 2024 season as it stands right now. I think, and also Allen Robinson is, by the way, too. Same thing with Calvin Austin III. I just don't know where the need comes from here unless Diontae Johnson just has a complete stinker of a season. Unless Diontae Johnson is just really, really bad in 2023, or he gets traded, or he demands a trade, or something crazy happens when it comes to Diontae Johnson. I just don't really see the Steelers going ahead. And if they have a top 10 pick investing in a wide receiver, I think there's going to be some other bigger need for the Steelers to go get if they're drafting in the top 10. And Diontae Johnson, I think that the Steelers really like him. I think he likes being in Pittsburgh. I think that the only way that he's not going to be on the team in 2024 is if he just has a complete terrible season. I actually think it's more likely he signs an extension next offseason than he gets traded. So do you believe in Diontae Johnson? Are you a believer? Let me know in the comment section right now by typing B if you believe in him, or if you don't believe in him, sorry about that, type D in the comment section. Then the Athletics' Dane Brugler, he is their draft analyst there for the Athletic, really knows his stuff, has the Steelers taking Mason Smith, a defensive tackle out of LSU. And man, this guy is strong, he is big, he is hulking, as you can see by this picture right there, flexing those muscles. He was one of the highest recruited defensive tackles in the country coming out of high school. Got hurt last year, however, but it's looking like Dane thinks that this freak, this Sperry psycho, might be available for the Steelers, and he might have a great 2023 campaign with the Tigers. LSU had high expectations for Smith last season until he suffered a knee injury in the season opener while celebrating a play. Kind of a fail there. If Smith returns to full health this season, he will regain his first-round trajectory. And I don't really see personally the route that Brugler is looking at here. I respect Brugler. I think he's a really good analyst, but you got Cam Hayward, you got Larry Ogunjobi. I think Keanu Benson's going to be a good nose tackle for you this year. And I think he's a great developmental piece that you can slide in behind Cameron Hayward when he eventually rides off into the sunset. I don't really see a need to go out and get a defensive tackle here if I'm the Steelers, unless something catastrophic happens, like Larry Ogunjobi is just straight up terrible, or Keanu Benson just doesn't work out. I just don't see defensive tackle as a huge need for the Steelers moving into 2024, but I guess you never know. And finally here we have Bleacher Report, who have the Steelers taking white cornerback Cooper DeJean, or however you want to say it here. Cornerback out of Iowa, and of course Iowa loves their white cornerbacks. They had Riley Moss come out this year, got drafted by the Denver Broncos. 75 tackles, 5 interceptions last year, and 8 pass breakups. He is a good cornerback, but, I'm just not sure if corner is going to be a need for the Steelers after investing 2 picks at the position this year. But this is what Matt Holder from Bleacher Report had to say. 4 Steelers cornerbacks, Ahkello Witherspoon, Levi Wallace, Arthur Maulet, and James Pierre, are set to become free agents in 2024. Meanwhile, Patrick Peterson is about to turn 33, and his contract has an out in the offseason. So, and then he continues to say here, the Steelers could fill that void by selecting Iowa's Cooper DeJean, who had 5 interceptions in 13 games last season and returned 3 of them for touchdowns. He also logged 8 pass breakups and is one of the best ball hawks in the 2024 draft class. So, on the one hand, it's like the Steelers really invested a ton at the cornerback position in this year's draft and in free agency. But then on the other half, you could really, really see how this could be another big need for the Steelers moving on into the 2024 offseason. Like they said, Patrick Peterson has an out coming up next year. Ahkello Witherspoon, same thing. Witherspoon's just a straight-up free agent. Same thing with Wallace and Pierre. Joey Porter Jr. and Corey Trice will be there for you. But, if all these guys leave in free agency and the Steelers don't re-sign any of these guys and they don't bring back Patrick Peterson, they end up cutting him. He has a terrible season, whatever the case may be. Cornerback could be at the top of the list for the Steelers yet again going into the 2024 draft class. I don't think that's the case. I think Peterson's going to have a really good year. I think Wallace or Witherspoon will probably re-sign. Same thing with Pierre. I guess we'll have to see how their season goes, but I just don't really see this being a first-round need for the Steelers a year from now. So which player do you want the Steelers to take in the 2024 NFL draft class? Let me know in the comments section what you guys think right now. Which player really has your eye? I think I'm going to see some Marvin Harrison Jr.'s in the comment section. That's going to be it for today's show, guys. I really appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you always know when we put out new videos. That's going to be it for me today, guys. I'll see you guys later. Peace.